Hey everybody, this is Sean here with Teach Legal with another Teach Legal Minute. And tomorrow, Tuesday, the 10th, the Supreme Court is going to take up the case of California versus Texas. For those of you who are unfamiliar with that case, it's another attempt by several states and a couple individuals to strike down the mandate provision of the Affordable Care Act, the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act. But the impetus this time is to not only strike down that one provision, but to use that as a basis to strike down the whole act. And to do this, the proponents are relying on a 2017 Jobs Act, which basically amended that mandatory provision, that penalty provision of having mandating insurance. For example, prior to the 2017 Jobs Act, there was a financial penalty if you didn't have insurance. Well, what they did was Congress amended that act and said, well, look, we're going to cut out the penalty, so therefore the requirement that you possess insurance cannot be enforced because there's no penalty. Now, what they're trying to do now, these states and a couple of individuals, they're trying to say, ironically, that after Congress amended that act in 2017, that provision became unconstitutional via requiring one to buy insurance, despite the fact what it did was eliminate the enforcement mechanism of that requirement to purchase insurance. So, I mean, obviously, this case is turning on a lot of politics, unfortunately, but as far as the court is concerned, it should be a relatively easy case. I hesitate when I say easy because many times Supreme Court will take an easy case and come up with a decision that boggles my mind, and as well as many other people out there. But the issue will become one of what they call legal severability. What that means is, if there's a provision in a statute that's unconstitutional, well then the logical thing to do would be to sever that provision from the statute, to sever that unconstitutional provision from the statute so that you could keep the whole statute. Well, there's proponents that say, well, how do we know, or we can't do that without, affecting the whole statute? Well, you have to look to what Congress intended when they drafted the statute. You look to legislative intent, and then you say to yourself, or you argue that, did Congress mean to eliminate the whole statute because of one provision is bad, or did they mean just to sever that one provision? So you have to think about it from that perspective. In this case, I think legally it's an easy question. All you have to do is sever that one provision that mandated insurance, that people obtain insurance. Even with the fact that that one provision, and in my opinion, is not required, does not mandate insurance. All it does is, suggest people get insurance. Again, since 2017, there's no way to enforce that provision. So the Supreme Court will have this issue. Well, we'll hear arguments on this issue tomorrow. Again, look for the concept of severability and whether or not that is the way the Supreme Court is leaning. In my opinion, that's the legally sound way to do it. But because this case is so politically charged, it'll be interesting to see how the Supreme Court treats it. Now, what are some of the effects if they decide to render the whole statute unconstitutional based on this one provision that is not enforceable? Well, let's think about it now. Right now, there's millions of people on health insurance through the Affordable Care Act. Many people are out of work, and for many of those people, they would get their health insurance through work. But since they're not out of work, they're not getting their health insurance through their job. The Affordable Care Act is providing insurance for many of these people. There's also the fact that the Affordable Care Act prevents insurance companies from denying coverage to those who may have a prior health condition. So all of these things are hanging in balance. So this could have major impact across the country. Again, legally, it sounds like a simple case. All you do is strike the unconstitutional provision and let the statute stand. But because of the political nature of this case, it'll be interesting to see how the court handles the oral arguments tomorrow and see which justices are asking which questions of the lawyers. In any event, let us know what you think. Leave a comment below.